The cult of domesticity, or the cult of true womanhood, was a prevailing value system among the upper and middle classes during the 19th century in the United States and Great Britain. This value system emphasized new ideas of femininity, the woman's role within the home, and dynamics of work and family. True women were supposed to possess four cardinal virtues: piety, purity, domesticity, and submissiveness. The women and men who most actively promoted these standards were generally white, Protestant, and lived in New England or northeastern United States. The cult of domesticity revolved around the woman being the center of the family. They were considered the light of the home. Although all women were supposed to emulate this ideal of femininity, black, working class, and immigrant women did not fit the definition of true woman because of social prejudice. The cult of domesticity was assigned for the wives and daughters of the men who made up the white upper-class power structure in the United States and Britain. As mentioned earlier, true women were to hold four cardinal virtues, the first being piety. Religion was valued because, unlike intellectual pursuits, it did not take away a woman from her proper sphere, the home, and because it controlled one's longings. The second was purity. Virginity was seen as a woman's greatest treasure, which she could not lose until her marriage night. The third was submission. True women were required to be as submissive and obedient as little children, because men were regarded as women's superior by God's appointment. 4. Domesticity. A woman's actual sphere was the home, where a wife created a refuge for her husband and children. Needleworking, cooking, making beds, and tending flowers were considered actual feminine activities, whereas reading of anything other than religious biographies was discouraged. Women who advocated for women's rights, such as Mary Wollstonecraft, Frances Wright, and Harriet Martineau, were accused of disrupting the natural order of things and condemned as unfeminine. They are only semi-woman, mental hermaphrodites, wrote Henry F. Harrington in The Ladies' Companion. During the Progressive Era, the New Woman emerged as a response to the cult of true womanhood. New Woman, frequently associated with women's suffrage, represented an ideal of femininity which was dramatically opposed to the values of the cult of true womanhood. Early feminist opposition to these values, promoted by the cult of domesticity, culminated in the Seneca Falls Convention in 1848, and later influenced the second wave of feminism. After the Jacksonian period, 1812 to 1850, had granted universal white male suffrage, extending the right to vote to virtually all white males in America, women believed it was their opportunity for civil liberty. Beginning as early as the Declaration of Sentiments, written at Seneca Falls Convention in 1848, the right to vote was finally extended to women in 1920. The cult of domesticity arose again in the 1950s when television began to present shows that depicted fictional families where the mother would stay at home with the children while the men went to work. The cult of domesticity shaped an idealized myth of family and paved the way for a nuclear family.